Hi guys, Everyday Knife Guy here with a bit of a different blade overview for you today. This is somewhat larger than I would usually be showing on my channel. You know I like smaller EDC style blades. This is not something I would be putting in my pocket for everyday carry. Let me just say that right off the bat. I actually picked this knife up in a trade that I did on Instagram, and I believe the guy I traded with doesn't have a YouTube channel or doesn't use YouTube particularly, but I will leave his Instagram handle in the comments below, so go check him out. He's got a pretty interesting collection. And he does do knife trades and sales on Instagram, so you may just find something in his collection that catches your eye. So, without further ado, this is what I picked up from him. You can probably tell by the blue box hiding under there that it is a Benchmade. And you can see on the end of the box here, this is the model 741S for serrated. Lum, this is a Bob Lum design, and this is the Onslaught, the full-size one, not the mini Onslaught, and AXS for axis lock. So it comes in the standard Benchmade box, and inside is the standard Benchmade black soft microfiber baggie. Put those to the side, and this is the knife itself. So pretty much straight away you can probably tell the size of this. Let's just get a quick comparison with another Benchmade that I show quite a lot, and this is a mini Griptilian. So you can see straight away that this pretty much just dwarfs that, even more so if I go ahead and open this up. Beautiful satin modified clip blade there. Fantastic looking blade, I think. I would have preferred no serrations, but obviously in this case I had no choice in that, and I actually do quite like them now that I have it in hand. They're extremely sharp, and on a blade of that length, the blade actually is, I think it's about 4.3 inches. So on a blade of that length, it's not a huge deal losing part of it to serration, I guess. So let's open up this mini grip as well, so we can get an idea of the size of the blades here. So yeah, not really a super practical EDC blade, but pretty interesting nonetheless. So let's put that aside for now. So yeah, this is a collaboration between Benchmade and the designer, posthumously between Benchmade and the designer Bob Lum. He actually passed it, I think it was 2007. One of Mr. Lum's own designs, the Forester, was a sort of a kind of custom design that Benchmade picked up and ran with as a production model and made the Onslaught. So the main difference between Bob Lum's original Forester and this being that this has the Benchmade's axis lock technology, of course. So that's first thing to note, and yeah, pretty interesting blade. The handle itself, what is it, about 5.5 inches I think, and you can see there it's really fills my hand. Medium to large size hands I would say I have, and really fills them. Good ergonomics though. There's a nice finger groove there, as you can see, and this hollowed out groove in the black G10 back here. The tips of your pinky and ring finger just kind of slot in there. Your forefinger locks in, and the thumb just rests on top. There isn't any ramp or any jimping here, but there's quite a nice wide platform for you to press down on. So it feels pretty good in the hand, as you can see there. And a lovely satin blade, the 154 cm. See if we can get the stamp on that. You can just see up at the top here, just above the opening hole. And you can see there Bob Lum is logo. Lum Designs, and of course, as I said, the axis lock is the technology for locking this in place, and you have the sort of spidey hole or opening hole here. It's partially obscured by the handle, but this cutout does kind of leave plenty to get a hold of with the tip of your thumb. Of course, being the axis lock, it is buttery smooth, comes out, locks neatly into place, free swinging to close back up. Big fan of the axis lock. It's a really nice technology, and yeah, it's good on a blade of this size to just have that kind of free swinging action. There's no weight to it. Even if you're opening with the opening hole, it just flies right out. Really quick to deploy. So the overall profile of the knife is a little unusual. It's got this real dip down at the tail here. Quite an aggressive looking blade. I don't know if Benchmade ever really pointed out a particular use for this. I don't know if they were saying it was a tactical knife or what. It does have an aggressive tactical look to it, of course, but you know, when you look at it in profile, you expect this to be a big beefy blade, but if you look at it top down, first thing you'll notice is actually how thin that blade is. Extremely thin. Make a great slicing blade. I actually brought in another knife here that I consider to be a good slicer, and that is the CRKT Ripple. And this is an extremely thin hollow ground blade. Let's hold it up next to this. See if I can get it to focus. Let me just put my hand behind here. So yeah, I always thought the Ripple was an extremely thin blade, but as you can see, if I can get these both perfectly vertical, the blade on this significantly larger 741 is even thinner, and the point on it really is paper thin. It's a little bit of a concern, I guess, on a blade that size that it is that thin for such a proportion of the blade. You can see even right up here at the actual handle scales, it is quite thin stock. So definitely wouldn't be too keen to do too much prying or put too much lateral force on this. Very, very thin. But you know, with that lovely deep blade shape, that's going to make for a great slicer, particularly these serrations back here. Great for food prep, just general opening packages, stuff like that. But at the same time, probably not a size you want to EDC for that kind of thing. So bit of a mixed package, I would say. Not quite sure where this fits in the collection for me. This may be something I hang on to, or it may move on. So still just getting used to it, and you know, see if it finds its place. If it doesn't, well, it can maybe find someone who has a better use for it. You can see it has solid back spacer there. Kind of difficult to show the all black in this light, but it has a slightly raised bump to it. That back spacer comes right down to the back here, right around the bottom, and just ends there. Lanyard hole at the back. Stainless pocket clip. Not a big fan of this. It's I don't really like the way they finished it off around the butt end here. It looks a little bit clunky to me. But it is a large clip, and it does have really good tension, and I guess that's due to the size of the knife. To anchor something that size in your pocket, it weighs about almost 7 ounces, I believe. To anchor that in your pocket is, you know, a pretty big task, so that would be the reasoning there, I guess. Yeah, so this is actually discontinued. The Benchmades still make the mini Onslaught, which I think is the 746. The 741, this was available plain edge satin, serrated satin, and the same in a black finish. These are all discontinued. The MSRP originally was around 190, I think. I'm not sure about the secondary market at the moment. I'd imagine it'd be a little bit more than that, as these become a little bit rarer. But yeah, no longer made or produced, so a bit of a collector's piece now, I guess. And a pretty unique design. But, yeah, it's growing on me already. To be honest, I'm not a big knife kind of guy, but yeah, I'm keen to use this in the kitchen and see how it does for food prep, stuff like that, because I think the slicing ability is what could save it. I maybe keep it in my collection. But yeah, in the meantime, that's pretty much all I want to say about it. Just a quick overview, and I may come back to do a full review in future. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I will do my best to answer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.